the first thing that I guess we should do is talk about what is Google Chat. So Google Chat is Google's chat service, as at the risk of sounding redundant. But if you've used things like Slack, it's also very similar to like the Canvas chat as well, if you've ever used that. What it does is basically allows you to text or message people, send them files, videos, images, and text, of course, to their accounts as long as they're signed in. There is also an app on your phone that you can download that will sync up to your web app as well. So either way, however you prefer to interface with this, all of those are possible. So whether you prefer the internet or your PC or the mobile app. I've had good experiences with both. I usually like the web app a little bit more just because I'm on the computer more than I want to be checking my phone and writing things out. Okay, so that's pretty much kind of a very, very short summary of what Google Chat is. The first thing that's on our list over here on our agenda is to sign into Google Chat. So this is the biggest challenge. Once you do this and you're comfortable with this, then it's really easy to do the rest of these things. So what I'd like you to do, if you are willing to, is to open up either Chrome or another web browser and just go to chat.google.com. And I think I can put that in the chat for us here as well. Just in case that's easier. So if you go to chat.google.com, it might ask you to sign in. I'm already signed in. If you're signed into Canvas or another Google application already, it should just take you right there. But if not, then it might ask you to sign in. And if it does ask you to sign in, make sure you use your HCC email and your password there. Okay, so I'll just give you just a second to do that. And if you weren't here last time, we took a look at, let's see, Google, at this page on the CTE. Oh my God, Google here. This page on the CTE website, which gives you a tutorial for how to sign out of other accounts. So feel free to send this along to your students if they're having issues signing into Google as well. So just want to make sure that you have that as well. So
Michael, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
So when I loaded this into my iPad and I did the chat.google.com, just like you said on the internet thing in my iPad. And over on the right-hand side, it says I'm on Angel aberba at howardcc.edu. So it didn't ask me to sign in, but does that mean I'm signed in? If it shows up in the upper right-hand corner, I have a little circle with my initial in it.
Yep. If you see you see yourself up here, yep, you're right in the right place. And I'm glad that that worked and you didn't have to download the app to work on that.
Yeah, but this is the devil. But go ahead.
Okay. Yes. Yes, it knows you already. So you might be signed into other things on your iPad already. And Jamal asked if we should turn on notifications. It's really up to you. Basically, what that means is that it's going to ding you if somebody sends you a message on your while you're logged in on the computer. So you can do it. I guess I don't use it that much for that to be annoying, but if you use it frequently, then notifications would help you know when people are talking to you. So yeah. But again, it's up to you. For right now, it's probably unnecessary, but it's totally up to you. Yeah.
Mike, how do I get there while you're sharing your screen? I can't get back to.
Okay. Perfect. So that's a good point. So if you want to get there while I'm sharing the screen, so you're going to have to navigate the Zoom and the doing and watching at the same time. So this is one of the challenges of working with one screen on the computer. At the top of your screen, you should see something that says View Options all the way at the top. And under View Options, you should see Exit Full Screen. And then that should take you out of the full screen of Zoom, and then you can minimize Zoom. And when you, if you ever lose Zoom, if you go all the way to the bottom of your screen, there should be the little blue Zoom icon. You can click on that. That'll bring back the Zoom window. So that should hopefully help. But yes, it is a little challenging there. Okay. All right. Perfect. So I hope that you're able to get in. Again, just go to chat.google.com, and that will take you to the homepage, or it'll ask you to log in, and then just log in with your HCC email, and then that will take you to the single sign-on of the HCC website. All right, so I'm going to cross that off. So the next thing that we're going to do is, before we can start a chat, this was something that I had to learn the hard way, kind of. Is that you can click up here on the top left that says find people, rooms, and bots. If you click up there, you'll be able to say you can start a conversation if you just start searching for someone. So like, for example, if I wanted to, I'm going to start with him. She might respond to me, I'm not sure, but we'll see. So it looks like she's offline because she doesn't have the green bubble. But if I click on her name here, then that is going to start a new conversation over here in the middle that now I can start talking to her. But if you, for example, try to search for my name in there, and you tell me if you have this or not. So if you just type in M. Stein up here,
I couldn't find you.
It might, yeah, yep, perfect. Okay, so that is the thing that makes it a little bit more challenging. So it's just something to know. So Google Chat uses actually Google Contacts for us to be able to chat with people. I wish that this was better connected. I don't know if that's something that IT could help us out with or not. I will try to follow up with them about that. But basically, we have to add people to our contacts before we can just send them a chat message. You only have
Well,
to do this once,
you,
because
but it
once they're
says
in
you're
your
away.
contact.
I found you, but it says you're away.
Mike,
though.
I was able to send you a message without adding you as a contact.
You were able to send, well, I didn't get your message though. Oh yeah, I did. There we go.
Yeah.
So it's a good question. I don't know. Oh, I have to accept your message here. Yeah. Oh yeah, now you guys are sending me stuff. Thank you. Yeah, so if you have emailed me, this is a good question because I'm not really sure how this connects. It could be that if you've shared things with me on Google, or I've shared things with you on Google, then it might remember us, but it's not a guarantee. So anyway, the foolproof way to add someone to your chat, so you can just click in here and find them, is to go to contacts.google.com. So let me put that in the chat as well. If you go to contacts.google.com, then you can create a new contact, and then that will come through on your chat as well. So it is a little maybe confusing the first time you do it, but once you just understand that chat is using your contacts, then it'll be a little easier. You can also import contacts here. So if you have like an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheet, then you can actually import the contacts. And you can also do multiple contacts. So you don't have to go one by one. Let's say you wanted to use this with your class. You don't have to go, student by student. You can just grab all of their email addresses and just paste them in here with commas. Again, maybe the challenging part is just getting that list of all their emails. If you go to MyHCC and you go to your class roster, you'll get all of their emails, but you still have to do quite a bit of copy and pasting. I don't know if you guys have access to a better way to just get a list of all of your students' HCC emails. I have not found that to be particularly easy to find anywhere.
Colleague might have something.
Yeah, if you have access to Colleague, then you might be able to just pull the roster of your class. Yeah, that's a great point. If you don't have access to Colleague, then your class roster on MyHCC would work, or you could always like create a message in Outlook, I guess, and just put all their emails in there. That might also work. Okay. So if you're not able to find me in chat just by clicking over here, oh, I have lots of requests now, I'm popular. If you're not able to find me there, I'm gonna have to go through and accept all of your messages now so we can talk. But if you're not able to find me, go to contacts.google.com and then just add my name here is just mstein@howardcc.edu, and then click create. I think I'm not able to do that because oh yeah, I am able to add myself, I guess. Oh, I'm already there though. But anyway, just press space after you do that, and then it should pop up with this create button. Let me put that in the chat as well here, just in case. And then click create here, and then that will create you as a will create me as a contact, and then you'll be able to find me in chat now. So you're gonna have to kind of repeat that process for each person that you want to do. But if you're you know, working with yeah, if you're working with students that you're working with over and over again, then you won't have to keep on doing that. Okay.
Is that a way to avoid like being, you know, receive like scam or maybe being contacted by somebody you don't want to talk to?
So you can block people. I'm not going to block you, but you could block them. You could also turn off notifications for that particular person or group. So you would be able to say like, okay, Claudia, you're talking to me too much. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Or I just don't want to know that you're talking to me until I'm ready to talk to you. So like if it's, I don't know, if they're texting you late at night, because that's when they're working on stuff, you can just turn off your notifications. So you know, you don't want to block your student probably, but you could turn off the notification. And then that way you would see the little bell with the cross on it, which says that, okay, Claudia's notifications are off. But then I can just turn them back on when I'm ready. So that would probably be the easy thing. If it's a spam number, it's very difficult for people to spam you on here because you have to have a Google domain. You can't just have like a Gmail account to do this. So you have to have an HCC account to be able to get into chat. So chat doesn't work outside of the domain. That makes sense. So you will only be able to. Well, you'll be able to email other people outside of HCC, but they will also have to have a Google for education accounts. Angel, I did get your message. Perfect.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with my chat as well as accept all of your stuff. So yeah, at the top, I didn't say this, but that was part of I'm not sure who said that I was away, but it looks like I'm active, so maybe that's just a little slow.
You
This would
were
also
initially showing as away on me, but then it said active, and that's when I was able to send you. I was just trying to send you the message. So
gotcha. Okay.
yeah, I did say away in the beginning.
Weird, because I was on there already. Well, anyway, this would also be another place where you can just mute your notifications for a certain amount of time. So okay, mute them until 8 p.m. tonight. And then that, like Angel has her away message on. She's not available until 4:07 p.m. And then you could say turn off do not disturb. So that would be another way, Claudia, for you to sort of stop getting messages for.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That is actually probably easier because then you don't have to do it for everybody. You just say I'm not available for the next hour. So, okay. Okay, so I think we more or less added contacts. Again, if you are having trouble with adding contacts, I do have a video on that specifically because that is something that's a little tricky. But basically, a lot of you have already done this. Once you have a contact, like if I wanted to start a message with Claudia, I can't. I don't know why it doesn't know you, Claudia. I guess I'll just do it with Hannah. All right, so if I want to send Hannah a message, basically I just click on her name in here. Sorry, I did this too fast. So I'll click on her name, and then down here at the bottom, I can then just send her a message over here. So I can say, hi, Hannah, I'm in a workshop. Please respond. Actually, she's probably not. She's away, so I don't think she's gonna get this, but she might. Who knows? So anyway, so that's basically all you would do to send a message on chat. So you can start a chat, and then you can see that the history is on. This means that your history is being saved. So this chat will continue to have the history on, so that you'll be able to see what was said, and it'll just kind of keep a running record.
How do you turn the history on?
It should be on by default, actually. It should say as soon as you message someone, it should say history is on, and then messages sent with history on are saved. So but you could also delete your own message if you wanted to. If you didn't want it to be saved, you can just press the delete the trash can there, and that would turn it off. Well, it wouldn't turn history off, but that would delete your message. Okay, so that was starting a chat. So for all of you, let me see if Angel is already ahead of me. So she typed smiley face, but if you
Yeah,
want to
I
send a
didn't, it
smiley
didn't
face,
stick. So I got to figure
that's
out how to make
okay.
it stick, but thanks.
That's
Keep
okay.
going.
No, that's our next thing is to insert an emoji. So this little happy face down here at the bottom is to add an emoji, and then you should be able to just you can search for something here. So if you type in there, I can say, oh wow, nothing was found with happy. I guess there's no happy emojis. What is this then? Smile?
That's because none of us are happy and will never be
We're
happy
not.
again.
We're never happy. What about it? Is there an angry? There is an angry. So that's very foreboding that we have angry but not happy. Well, anyway, so if you want happy, then I guess you have to say smiling or laughing. So you can search there, or you can just click on the different categories over here. So if you want like animals, or different objects and things like that, then there's different stuff like that. But anyway, so for right now, I'll use this little nerd face here. And if you click on that, then you hit enter. That should send a smiley face or a happy face or whatever other emoji that you have there. Let me see. I have lots. I'm gonna have to go through and accept all of your requests. But anyway, so that is basically just the very simple getting sending an emoji here. Okay. Questions so far? So far, so good, right?
I'm sorry I came late. Why did you, are we supposed to be sending you a message?
Sorry, I'm muted.
You're-
If you came late, that's fine. Are you on chat.google.com or not yet?
I don't think so, but I don't want to hold
Okay.
you up, but.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, don't no worries. If you want to just watch this is being recorded, so you can always go back and ask me if you have questions later as well.
Okay,
How did
thanks.
you get the emoji to stick?
So I'm not sure why yours didn't stick, Angel. If you try again, if you click on the little happy face and then just pick one of those, click on it and then hit enter, it should send it. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know why yours sent smiley face, literally smiley face, and not the actual smiley face. Also, there's a little shortcut. If you press colon, or I guess if you type colon here, you can get some of the basic one. Wow, pile of food. That's not a nice one. I'll do smiling face with sunglasses here. But I think you can just type in here, smile. And then you can, if you just start typing the thing that you want. So like if I want to send Angel a picture of a horse, that's not how you spell horse. Then you can see we have carousel horse. But there's even a magnet there. So you can just type colon and then type whatever you want, and then it'll give you the options there. And if there's nothing there, like Happy didn't come up with, I don't get it. I don't understand how these algorithms are figuring out what I mean here. But anyway, if you type in the thing and nothing comes up, that just means there's nothing that matches your criteria. But that is the little shortcut there for you to send stuff quickly. Okay. All right, so I'm going to cross that one off. The next thing that you might want to do is send people files, and this is really useful if you're collaborating on stuff with a team. So, for example, if your students wanted to work together on a group project, this might be a really good place for them to do that, because then they can share files, they can set up Google Meets. Probably still using Zoom again, like we talked about last week, is better, but we'll talk about how to add a Google meeting to the chat as well. It does make it really easy, but at the same time, then they have to use Google Meet. So, give and take. But anyway, if you want to upload a file, that's the next button next to the smiley face. If you just click on upload file, I don't know which files I have on my computer. I have videos that I could send you. Let me send you this video thumbnail. So if I wanted to send that, then I can just click on the file that I want to upload. It should be able to take any kind of file. So Word documents, PowerPoints, any file that you want to send people, you should be able to send that. And then just hit enter. So once it loads, it'll show up here as a preview, and then just hit enter to send it, and then it'll send it. Okay. I'm sending everything to you, Angel. Let me send something to Google. All right, so perfect. So that is uploading files, and that's just a file from your computer. But if you wanted to upload a file from Google Drive, you can also do that as well. So I guess this is also kind of funny. I would not say this to you, Bhuvana, but this is an auto suggestion at the bottom. So it says it says hello, and then you can say hi, how are you? If you just click that, it's going to send that automatically. If I want to say, what do you want? That probably is not what I want to send Bhuvana. But if I say hi, how are you? I can just click that, and it'll give me the kind of auto response. And I just hit enter to send it. So as people are sending you things, it should kind of think for you, so you can type faster. If you wanted to do that. So yeah, what do you want is not a proper response to hello though. Yeah. So and Jamal asked if we can add an outside contact. So you can, but you're limited. Like I have Linda Hodges from I believe she's from UMBC. So you can, but they have to have a Google for Education or a Google Workspace domain account. So you wouldn't be able to add anyone who's just from like gmail.com. So for your students to use this, they won't be able to do this with their personal account. So that's maybe a blessing and a curse, because then they can't get mixed up and send you messages from the wrong account. It has to be with the G Suite. So there's no way for you to get message someone outside of the G Suite. You don't have to be inside of HCC, but you could be in another one. And following up on that, is it only the .edu? I don't believe it's only the .edu. I think definitely if the .edu is associated with the Google account, then definitely it will work. But if you have like, I don't know, if I had a website or if I had a company, for example, and it was Mike at mikestein.com, and I was using Google to manage kind of my Google Docs, and I was paying for the account, then I should be able to use chat as well. So you can add anybody, but they have to have a Google account that's not just a free account. They have to have either the EDU account or some other account. Yeah. Okay, so if you wanted to, you're very welcome. If you wanted to add a file from Google Drive, it's the next one over. You just click right there. So if I want to send Bhuvana, I don't know, the slides from some presentation that I did, I can just click that Drive icon, and then I should see over here all of the slides. So if I want to send her, for example, let me send her, I'll just send you this one, which is Jams and Slide. So I'll just click on the thing that I want to send her and then say select. And then that will get a link in there, and I can just hit enter, and that will just send the file. If the person needs access, so in other words, if link sharing is not on, then you'll be kind of prompted to give them access, right? So by default, it just says, do you want them to comment? But you could also just say, I just want her to view it, or I want her to be able to edit it. So in this case, I'm just going to say, no, I just want her to be able to view. So I'll click view. And then you could also turn on link sharing, which would allow anyone in HCC to access it. So this would be better if you were sharing it with all of your students, because that way you're not having to give access to each individual student. You're just saying, okay, anyone at HCC can do the thing that you want. So I'm just going to give it to her and just say view only. So I'll click send. And then now that sends her this this file, and she'll be able to open that as well, right, from her Google Chat. Okay. All right, so we did upload a file from Google Chat, and Bhuvana's taking here. Perfect. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do here is, again, we talked about Google Meet last class, and let me send this to someone else. I'm going to send to it here. So if, for example, I wanted to meet with Richard here, I could just click really easy, just add a video meeting and say, hey, this is not working. Let's just talk. Do you have a second to talk? And then I can just click this button right here, and then automatically it creates a Google Meet meeting for me. And I just hit enter, and then we would be able to just click right there and join the meeting. So really simple, really well integrated here. But again, then you have to use Google Meet. So it really depends. Like I said, for most cases, you should be using Zoom for most of these things. But if you do want to use Meet at some point, it's really well integrated here. Renee, if you're getting if it says you can't access Google Chat at all, probably what you should do is sign out of all of your accounts and then sign back in. So if you follow the directions on this page here, that should take you back in. Okay. All right. So any questions with any of these things so far? That's basically it in terms of what you can do and what you with Google Chat, just on the basic chat. You can also respond to people's messages. So Rich says hi, and I want to say, you know, give him a smiley face. Then I can reply to his message there by just giving him a reaction there. So you could use that if you like, I don't know, if you wanted to vote on different things and you wanted to give a couple different options, then students could put reactions there. Again, probably not my preferred way to do that in Google Chat, but it's possible if you wanted to do that.
Question.
Yes.
Cindy and I were having like a side chat. One of the concerns that we have is maybe like the fact that we might miss messages from our students. So is there a way that you can maybe receive emails notification as well, or there will be only the notification on the app?
So I don't, I'll double check that. I'm getting a lot of messages just on my phone here from everybody. As you guys, you can't see that because anyway, that's great. Thank you, virtual background. But anyway, you can't see my phone, but I'm getting messages as you're sending me things. So if you have it on your phone, it's really hard to miss things. If you want it to be on your, like to send you an email, let me just check in the notification settings here. I don't know, I have too many Zoom things up here. Let me just see, I don't think that you can get, oh yeah, here. So if you want to send an email, so that was under, sorry, let me go back. I was just exploring. So if you go under active and then you click on notification settings, then you have the option down here to receive an email if you haven't read a message. And this set, well, it's not great because, well, yeah, it says direct messages or mentions. So it's not going to send you messages if other people are talking in a group, for example. So it's not going to send you, like, let's say you're in a group with 10 other people, every time somebody messages you, it's not going to do that. But if they send you a direct message and you haven't read the message, it'll send you an email, or if they mention you. So if, for example, we're in a group and I say, okay, I want to mention Claudia, then I type @Claudia, then that would be the mention. So that would also send you an email if you missed that. So if I want to add Claudia to this, I'm not sure that I can, I guess, because you're not in this message, but if I did this through Rick, I could do that here. So if I did that, then he would get that notification like, hey, we're talking about you. So if this was in a group, obviously it doesn't make sense to do that when it's a direct message, but if it's in a group, then yeah, you can do that. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
All right, so the next thing here is to create a room. So rooms are basically, they're almost the same as group chats. There are group chats as well as rooms. I believe the only real difference between the group chat and the room is that the group chat just it's basically a direct message with a bunch of people, whereas a room is something that people can search. Well, they can't really search and find. They can join the room and then leave the room if they wanted to, and then they could come back to the room if they want to, where I don't think that they can just come back to the group conversation if they like close the conversation. It does say that you can browse rooms, so I guess if the room is public, then you might be able to like browse that. So, but you can't just join a room without being invited to it. So, so anyway, what I'm gonna do here is create a room here, and I think I already did this, but I'll do this again. So if I wanted to do Google Apps for faculty chat, and then what I can do is it looks like I could have set up a group, which I should have probably done, but I'm going to just add, can I add Claudia? Can I not add anyone? It sure does not like me to send you messages, Claudia. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. I need to add you to my contacts. Google Apps for Faculty Chat. So let me just add. I'm just gonna add Anna, and then I'll go back and add people. Is it because I have an ad? I don't have an ad. Yeah. It does not like to add you, Claudia. I don't understand why. Weird. All right. Well, I'm just gonna add Anna for now.
You might have to type the whole email. That's what I had to do for you. Like,
Really?
Yeah, earlier, because we never messaged back and forth.
Okay. I gotcha. If I search, okay, so I can do all of that. All right. Yeah. So basically, I would just keep adding people. Again, this is where it would be nice to be able to just connect with your Outlook or your contacts there. But anyway, and then using threaded replies is probably something that I would normally suggest, unless you just want it to be kind of a group chat. The threaded replies allows us to comment on our post. So if Claudia says something and I want to have a conversation with what she said, then I need to have a threaded reply to be able to reply directly to that message. And actually, Jamal, here it says allow people outside your organization to join. So if I wanted to do that, then I'll go ahead and click. I'll check that button. So I'm not sure how powerful that is. They still need Google Chat to be able to do this. It might interface with Hangouts, actually. I think it does still. They're trying to phase out Hangouts, which is what this was before it became chat. But for now, Hangouts is available for people with just Gmail accounts. So that actually might work if you wanted to just have people do. They won't be able to go through chat, but they would go through Hangouts. So anyway, all right, let me create this room here. And we'll see if we can do anything with this room. So, so this is our room now. And so tell me if you go to browse rooms, if you can find that now, because I'm not sure if you type in Google Apps for Faculty.
Yeah, it was in my profile because you added me as soon as I went.
Yeah, because I added you, but if other people try, I don't know that they'll be able to join this either. So you should be able to do this. I wish they made this a little easier because it does seem like you have to add people individually to be able to do this. I think I have all of your emails over here, so maybe I can just grab you this way. We're gonna see how well this works. If I add people here. It did not like that. All right. Well, anyway, I think that the better thing to do is to set up a group and then go from there. But I didn't do that ahead of time, so that's my fault. But anyway, so what you can do in the room is basically you can continue to add people to the room. So if we wanted to keep adding, I promise to add all of you after this session. I just don't want to do it right now because that will take a long time. But then we can use this for discussions or other questions. If you have Google related questions, then we can actually just use this chat room here. But anyway, so if we want to add people to the room, again, you just click the add button. But other than that, what you're going to do at the bottom is just click new thread in Google Apps for Faculty Chat Room. Click on that, and then you'll be able to type in a message here. So this is the first thread of our chat room. And I can just send this message. And now whoever is in the room would be able to reply to my chat. And then again, it's just going to keep a running list. So as people keep sending messages and keep doing things, this will go farther and farther up to the top so that people would have to scroll up to the top, or they would be able to go and see the most recent one. Yeah, Angel.
I have a question. So I'm trying to, kind of, I can see that it's a technology thing and all that, but I'm still trying to kind of wrap my head around this. So there's that whole chat thing in the new Microsoft.
Right. And you mean Teams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is supposed to be unique to HCC, where we can chat while we're in the office and whatever.
Yes.
So
correct.
this is another tool instead of using that.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's just another option.
Do you feel this is a superior product to that one?
It's a good question. I think just because this has been difficult to add people here, I would say just because of that, probably not. I think that I haven't actually worked with Teams that much. I know for colleague to colleague interaction, I think that's probably fine. Zoom also has the chat feature as well. I know not as many people have been using that, but I know that I know e-learning uses that, and they always send me messages on Zoom, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're using chat with Zoom
And
now.
my last
but I think,
question
yeah,
is
So-
this is
mhm.
not something that we would probably be using during a Zoom session that is synchronous with our students. We would probably wouldn't
Well-
open this up on the side. That would probably be just too much to keep track of and whatever. I mean, I can't imagine, but could it be used asynchronously in a Canvas class, or is it only
Yeah.
meant for synchronous?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely possible to do this asynchronously. Like, we don't have to be on at the same time. It's completely asynchronous, basically. It's just doing it in real time. It's updating in real time, just like a Google Doc or anything else. So you could, if you wanted to, the thing that this would give you over the Zoom chat is that you would be able to send, files back and forth a little bit easier, because you can't right now do that in Zoom chat because that feature has been turned off. So this would allow you to send files back and forth. This would allow you to share like Google Drive files back and forth. And this would also do pretty well to have like a back channel chat and being able to reply to people. Like I have it set up here where Claudia just replied to my chat. It's a little bit more organized than Zoom chat, but I agree with you. In most cases, the Zoom chat is probably enough for what you're doing because it's right in Zoom. It's going to be easier for you, easier for students to manage that. So I would agree with that. Probably that I would not necessarily suggest this for Zoom, unless you needed some of these functionalities like being able to send files back and forth, or you wanted to use some of these like being able to reply to specific messages in the chat. So some of those things might make it worth it, but yeah, I think for most people, the Zoom chat is enough. And then the only other thing that, since you asked about Teams, the only other thing with Teams is that that's only for faculty and staff right now, so students don't have that. So that's the only other thing that would maybe sway you one way or the other.
Thank you.
Okay, a couple questions. I know Claudia raised her hand. Karen asked in the chat, can you delete a room? So this is one of the more frustrating things. You can't delete a room, but you can leave a room. And then once you leave the room, it's open to whoever's in the room, but it's not, they would still be able to talk to each other, basically. If you left, but then other people were still in the room, like if I wanted to leave this other one that I set up, it says you can always return. And you can block the room, but that's only for you. So you can't really delete the room, which is a little frustrating. I agree. So you can leave the room, and then that would say you won't get any updates, and you won't be able to post messages until you rejoin, but you could rejoin at any time. So that's about as far as you get, but people are not going to just be able to like search for your rooms. It's not as easy as that. So. Does that answer your question, Karen? And can you change the name of the room? Yeah, you can change the name. So if you come up here to the top where the name is and just click edit the name and emoji, then you can.
Wait, can you do that again? I was looking at something else.
Yep, sorry about that. I was too fast. So up here at the top where it says Google Apps for Faculty Chat Room, if you click on that, click on the title of your room, all the way at the top, you'll get edit name and emoji. And that would change the name of the room. So you'll be able to edit the name, and if you have a little symbol or emoji there. Do you see that?
No, I don't have that. Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
Yeah, so if you click, no problem. If you click there, and then you can also add, whatever emoji. I'll add a little party to this room. Hope I didn't save it. You can add a little emoji here. While I'm doing that, Claudia, yeah, you have a question.
You were the person who created the room. Does it mean that you have more privileges than the members, or everyone has the same access?
I don't think you have any more privileges than anyone else. Pretty much anyone can talk once they're in the room. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can manage the members at all. Because I created the room, I might be able to kick people out. Yeah, I can remove people from the room. Can you remove people from the room? I don't think you
Let
probably
me
can.
try.
Yeah.
You can, I
I'm-
just found that by mistake.
well, you are the one that created your room though, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll be
Yeah.
quiet.
No, that's you're fine. Thanks for your yes, you can remove people, but can
Yeah,
Claudia,
I
I
can
don't
remove you. I can
you can remove me from my own room?
Yes.
That's not good. Don't teach students that.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah, just don't tell them that they can do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's, I mean, you
But
can
I-
always come back, but that's not great. That's not a nice feature.
Not nice feature.
Yeah, yeah. So
Is
anyway,
this good to use for reviews? Like if you want to review a chapter or for a midterm, is this a good function to use for that or some other is better?
you could, it really depends on where and how you want to, what you want to do really. Canvas also has a chat feature that's very similar to this. So it might be just as well if all you want to do is just have kind of a back channel chat or a chat where people can talk to you or can ask questions and things, then Canvas chat might work. I think that this could work. I mean, obviously the other corollary to this is a discussion board. So you know, you might get a lot of the same functionality like uploading things, downloading things, and you know, that kind of stuff from just a discussion board as well. Yeah, it's another option. I think that this has been more useful to me for informal conversations or helping students to like set up their own groups where they want to set up things. Again, there's stuff in Canvas that does the same thing, but I don't know, it comes to your phone, so there's that as well. Again, yeah, I don't necessarily mean to kind of convert you to this. I just want to share this with you so you know that it's an option and it's part of what you have in your HCC G Suite. So there are some downsides, like having students be able to remove you from the room. That's pretty big downside. But you know, you get for informal stuff or for students just you know, messaging each other, they don't have to share anything other than their HCC email. So that's also kind of nice. Okay, Claudia, did you ask your question? I'm not sure.
Yes, and then another thing that I was thinking about what Angel asked is, one thing with Zoom Room is once you close the meeting, the student don't have access to that conversation anymore. So if there is anything that maybe you want them to go back and refer, maybe this is the option to use because they will always have access to it.
True, and they can continue the conversation after the class as well if they didn't finish. Again, the most engaged students would do that. Not sure about most students, but yeah, I mean, if they wanted to keep talking after the fact about some of the things, then they could absolutely do that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so I'm a little behind here. We added people to the room and we replied to the thread. Okay, our last thing here is adding and using chatbots. So I was looking through all the chatbots and I didn't find that many that were very useful. There was a couple that I did want to share with you. One thing that may be useful that I don't think you get in either Canvas chat or in the Zoom chat is being able to send a message to this anonymity bot. So basically when you send a message to the anonymity bot, it just says someone said this, and you like, so students could ask questions anonymously in the chat without being you know, have their name out. So that might be something that's useful. I'll go through that in just a second. Giphy is something that's really silly and just allows you to quickly insert GIFs. So that's kind of cool. And then Google Drive bot, I was on the fence about because it's really just for you. But basically I have it down here. If you go under bots and click the plus button, if you click on the plus button and then you search for Google Drive, it should be the first, like one of the first things there. It's this one here that says Google Drive, and click add, then that's going to add it down here. If you missed that, that was just hitting the plus button next to bots. Hit plus and then search for Google Drive. And then when you go there, you actually start a message with your Google chat bot. And it basically tells you every time somebody does something in Google Drive. So Google will also send you these messages, but it might be kind of useful just to have that all in one place instead of just having like thousands of messages in your email. So again, totally up to you. I didn't think this was as useful, but then when I started getting notifications, I kind of liked this. So, you know, it's up to you how you think that you would like to use that or not. So.
How do you link the any of these bots? How do you link them into the conversation or the chat you're having right now with somebody?
Perfect. So Google Drive bot doesn't link at all. It's just for you and it's specific to your bot. That's why I did it first. But if you want to link, for example, the anonymity bot, what we're going to do is we're actually going to add it to the room. So we created a room and then we're going to add the bot to the room. And I already have, I'm sorry, you had to add it to your chat over here first. Go to bot and then anonymity bot. If you go to anonymity bot, we should.
I see it's in the list. I thought maybe by putting it on that left side, it was like a quick link or something.
Kind of. So all you're doing, I mean, and you can also, if you search for add a bot, you can also add it directly to a room. So if I want to just add it to the Google Apps for Faculty chat room, I can just click add there. And then if I go, it'll hopefully just take me there. And then now I see this message here. So it says that I added the anonymity bot to the room. And then now I can use these little keywords here to create a thread or create an anonymous reply or give feedback to the anonymity bot, which I don't want to do.
Okay,
but really,
because I'm guessing that's pointless for a conversation with somebody.
Yeah,
know where it's coming from, but for
exactly, yeah. For a room, it's useful. So if I wanted to say anon thread, for example, I have to do the backslash, or I guess that's a // anon thread, and then I just type in whatever I want to say. Do you guys understand what's going on? And then if I hit enter, I'm sending that message to anonymity bot, but then it should be creating this for me. Maybe it didn't work. I need to do that again. Anon thread. Okay, and then now
I think you've only got one person in that room, so.
Well, it should still not tell. It should tell. It shouldn't tell hand. No, I have two people here, so it should work that way. Anon thread. Let's see. There. I don't know why that. Yeah, that one didn't go through for whatever reason. But yeah, then it says it shows up as anonymity bot said this. So instead of you know, me seeing this, and it also tells you only visible to you. So only what I say to the anonymity bot is visible to me.
Okay.
So that I feel like that might have some practical use, more so than some of the other stuff. But the other thing is the Giphy bot, and that was the one that I believe, I guess I have to add that to the room as well. I'll just add that really quick. So Giphy is also one of the top ones here. And there's other stuff. If you're using some of these other things, probably we're not using Salesforce or other things, but there was a couple like Asana or other stuff that I don't know, you might use, some very specific people might be using those that might be useful. But for the most case, these were the only few that I found that were worth talking about. So if I add the Giphy bot to a room, I want to add it again to that same room here. Then I'm going to add it. So now what I can do is in my thread up here, if I wanted to start a new thread, I can just type in the, it's basically this, which is choose. So it's again a / and then choose. And then now I can just say I want to choose a dog GIF. If I hit enter, it's going to allow me to choose from different GIFs. So I can just kind of scroll through them and say, okay, well, I don't like that one. That one's kind of funny. Or I like this one. So let's add this one. So when I'm ready, I just click done. And then now that sits in part of the thread here. So only that shows up. So this part doesn't show up, just the actual GIF bot. And it does say who put the GIF there. So again, maybe not the most practical, useful thing, but that was the only other kind of bot here that I found to be very, very useful. Any questions with any of these things? We still have about 9 more minutes and we made it through our agenda here.
question. I don't know if I missed this. Why would we use a room versus creating a group? Like, what's the benefit of using a room?
So with the room, you can, it gives you a little bit more control. Like if we did a group conversation instead, like I'll add, what? Sorry. And then it does not like to remember your name, Claudia. I don't know why. I keep typing this all the way out. Now it doesn't remember you at all. Okay, I'm gonna add Amy, whatever. And then if I click start, then I think that the big thing is being able to add bots to rooms. I mean, you can add it there too. You're right. That doesn't really make that much of a difference. I think that when you close this thing out, oh, okay. Well, you can turn off the history. I didn't see that in the room. Let me see if we can do that. I don't think that you can do that in the room. That's a good question though. Yeah, we can't turn off the history in the room. So if you wanted to turn off the history at all, then you could turn off the history there. So it would go away after a certain amount of time. I mean, other than that, it's very, very similar. There's not very much else that's different here. And you can still add people and bots to your conversation. So that's a good question. There's not very much difference. I think that this is definitely not searchable. I don't think the rooms are really searchable either. Maybe that's just the way that HCC has it set up. But theoretically, the rooms would be searchable. So you would be able to search for like the faculty break room or, you know, English 121 faculty or something like that. So you might have a little bit more functionality in there, but from what I'm seeing right here, you're actually getting more functionality with the group chat. So I would agree with you that that's probably a better option. Yeah. Carol, you raised your hand. Oh, you're muted.
So when I'm creating a room, do I have to always start it with Google Apps? And then
So if
name
you're,
the,
no, if you're creating a room, then you click on the room, click create room, and then you can name it whatever you want. So you can call it whatever you want. You don't have, you could call it Psychology 101 or whatever the section is. You don't have to do anything. There's no rules here. Other questions? We talked about this a little bit in terms of the options that you have. I think that it's good to know that this is an option. I have used it in a couple of classes and it's been useful, I think. But again, if you are using Canvas chat or you're using Zoom chat or you're using Teams, then this, you know, again, just weigh your kind of options. I don't think this gives you that much more functionality than any of those options. I think it's nice that it's integrated with Google Drive, so it's a little bit easier to send things directly through Google Drive. But other than that, it's pretty comparable to the other options out there. So so again, it's a nice option if it meets some of your needs and being able to do the threaded replies and stuff in a little bit more informal. So.